the Lord showed me, you need to turn your life around. And I stood up before the church one Sunday night and told them I knew I had done wrong. I was ready to get back into the church and back doing whatever the Lord had for me to do. So at that time, I didn't know what my future held. I didn't really have a big dream at that time of what I was going to do, but I had got a good job with North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company. And at the same time, when I went back to church, I was an advocate, Bible reader. I studied a lot. And I asked the Lord one day, I said, I read where you said, choose the best gift and make your calling and election sure. I said, I do not know what my gift is. And that's when the Lord revealed to me that I was supposed to be a teacher. So I was blessed to become a Sunday school teacher, assistant teacher first for the youth at Union Grove. And then I became the teacher. After that, I became the assistant superintendent. And then I became the superintendent for a while. Also along my journey, I was very active in the East Cedar Grove Association, where I became the dean of the East Cedar Grove Religious Training Institute when it was at Shady Hill, when Dr. Edwards was there, and as well as vice president and field missionary for the 3rd District Sunday School Convention of the East Cedar Grove Association. So basically most of my life after 1970, getting back into the church, dealt with the educational part of the church. I was in a ministry that was teaching other people about God and just how to minister church administration. So that has been good to me. But I always wanted to play. I always liked to try to sing. I didn't think I could sing that good, but people would ask me to sing for a funeral or different thing. And back in that day, there wasn't a lot of musicians around sometimes. So I tried learning to play piano even at my 20s. And for the next 20 years, it would not come together. I would get headaches. Lady gave me a piano. I couldn't learn. I gave it to another guy, one of my neighbors, Deacon David Toran's son. He went right on playing. I'm like, okay, Lord, what's up with this? You know, that I can't get it. But I went ahead playing softball, and I played with the fire department and played all over the county and actually played at the federal prison. I wasn't in prison, but our team went down to play them. And then I played basketball with a few teams along with Squirt J and those guys, you know. But when I got 42 and I started watching guys getting ankles broke and different things, I said, well, it's time for me to give this up. And so that's when I went to God in prayer. And I said, Lord, I said, I've asked you to give me the gift to play. I said, I'm going to ask you one more time. And I said, if you say this is not for me, then I won't ask you ever again. And so I really prayed about it. And somebody told me about this, I think I found this fellow, this white gentleman in Orange County. And I went to him. He worked with me for a short while, but then he wasn't into black music or church music. And he was very nice to me. He told me, he said, look, I know where you would like to go with your music. He said, but I can't take you there. So then I pursued someone else in which Cynthia Cash was recommended to me. And she worked with me for a while. She was very good at it and very patient, because after working 8 hours a day, sometimes I would drive down to Clyde Cash's house and I would literally sit there and nod while she was teaching me. But she never got upset. She was so patient, and she would just show me all over again. And so then she went to college. And I said, Lord, what am I going to do now? I thought I was finally getting somewhere. And that's when someone introduced me to Mr. Burwell. And of course, Mr. Burwell, he worked with me. He was excited. In other words, he just he wanted me to come. I mean, sometimes he would call me to come take a lesson. And I said, I got choir rehearsal tonight. And he said, I don't care, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, just come when you get through. And I would go by Mr. Burwell, and sometime I would play, and he would sing. Sometime he would play, and I would sing, and the spirit would really be in there. He would be so happy. And he asked me one day, he told me, he said, I got a church for you. And I laughed, and it upset him. He said, I'm not playing. I said, Mr. Burwell, I can't play well enough to play for no church. He said, well, you already play better than some of the folks in the county. Well, I didn't know how to take that, but I didn't think that I was playing that well. But that's when he introduced me to Mount Bethel Baptist Church over on Birch Avenue. And so I was blessed to be over there for a few years. And of course, during that time, I felt like the Lord was telling me he had something else for me. And of course, Mrs. Ruth Drumwright came over to talk to me one Sunday, and she had told some gentleman to tell me she wanted to talk to me. Well, he didn't tell me. So finally, she waited around. She came to me. She said, I told that gentleman to tell you I want to talk to you, and he didn't tell you, so I'm going to tell you that we need a musician at Prospect Hill Baptist Church on one Sunday. At that time, it was a senior choir. And I said, well, I don't know if I can play well enough to suit whatever you all want. I said, but I'll come down and be interviewed for it. So I did, and of course, Quinlan Bowman came and talked to me, and they took me on as the church musician because Quinlan's mother was actually, Miss Eckertine Bowman, was a longtime musician for Prospect Hill Baptist Church. And I felt so honored to come behind somebody who was so good, you know.